What if I told you you could start energy freedom right now, not in years, not after a massive investment? But most people never do because they think it requires going fully off-grid from day one. Today, we're breaking down what energy freedom actually looks like in real life. Because it's not a switch you flip, it's a system you build step by step. And the biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect setup instead of starting. At the beginning, energy feels invisible. You plug in, you use. You don't think about it. But the moment you decide to take control, everything changes because you start seeing energy as something that flows, something that has limits, something that can be managed. And that awareness is the first step toward freedom. And here's the first truth most people don't expect. Energy freedom doesn't start with generation. It starts with consumption. Because if you don't understand how much you use, producing more energy won't fix the problem. It will just hide inefficiency. This is why the first real move toward energy freedom is reducing waste, identifying what actually needs power, and what can be optimized. Because every watt you don't use is a watt you don't have to generate or store. Then comes control. Once you reduce unnecessary consumption, even small energy systems become powerful. A single solar panel, a small battery can already start offsetting your dependence. And this is where people realize that energy freedom is not about replacing everything at once. It's about building layers. You don't need to power your entire life immediately. You start with essential systems, lighting, charging, maybe small appliances. And this gradual approach is what makes it sustainable. Because instead of overwhelming yourself, you learn how each part works before adding the next. But here's where the real shift happens: mindset. Because the moment you generate even a small amount of your own power, you stop being just a consumer. You become a manager of energy. And that changes how you think about every device, every usage decision, every moment of consumption. You start asking, do I need this now? Can this wait? Is there a more efficient way? And over time, those small decisions create a system that is balanced instead of strained. Now, let's talk about limits. Your system has a maximum output. Your storage has a capacity. And your input depends on conditions like sunlight or fuel availability. And real energy freedom comes from understanding those limits and operating within them, not pretending they don't exist. This is why experienced off-grid users don't chase unlimited power. They build predictable systems, where production, storage, and usage are aligned. And then there's resilience, which is what energy freedom is really about. Because when you have your own system, you are no longer fully dependent. Outages affect you less, price increases matter less, and you gain a level of control that most people never experience. But it's important to understand the trade-off. You are now responsible for your system. You maintain it, you fix it, you manage it. And that responsibility is the price of independence. This is where many people hesitate, because they see the work involved. But what they don't see is how that work decreases over time as systems stabilize and routines form. And that leads to the final realization. Energy freedom is not about perfection. It's about progression, starting where you are. Building a system that grows with your knowledge. Because in the end, you don't achieve energy freedom by waiting. You achieve it by starting small, learning fast, and building consistently. Until one day, you realize you're no longer relying on the system the way you used to. That's the real takeaway. Energy freedom is not a destination you reach instantly. It's a direction you move in. And the sooner you start, the sooner your dependence begins to drop. If you want more deep, realistic breakdowns about off-grid power, subscribe to Off Grid Life Tech.